Hello my friends! If you're new here, my name is Rachel and welcome to the channel, and if you are returning, hi, welcome back. It's so nice to see you again. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all that celebrate. I wanted to celebrate the day with something special and make a video that I feel like would not only help highlight some wonderful creators in the community, but also just be a little Animal Crossing present to you guys by gifting you with some wintry island inspiration. In today's video, we will be visiting 10 different winter islands together, and on each one we will walk through some beautiful builds that can showcase just how amazing winter islands can truly be, and to hopefully spark some inspiration for your own builds. Every island in this video is a different theme, so we have a lot of variation to help show how you can break out of the usual winter themes and try something new and unique. And all of the creators featured in today's video will of course be linked in the description box down below, so please go and show them all the love for their wonderful islands. Without further ado, let's go see some builds. The first island on today's list is by Dana Crossing over on Instagram as well as here on YouTube. ℍ𝕖𝕝𝕪𝕠 is described as a winter ski resort island, and it is absolutely breathtaking. This island is very forested and heavily terraformed, and I included it for that exact reason. I wanted to show you guys some of the gorgeous cliffs and waterfalls that Dana has created, as well as her beaches, which are some of the most beautiful wintry beaches that I have literally ever seen. So here we are at the first spot on ℍ𝕖𝕝𝕪𝕠, which is a land bridge that Dana has put together that is simply so magical. This terraforming is absolutely amazing. The cliffs and the waterfalls are layered so beautifully, and it really makes me want to just sit and watch the northern lights on the horizon and just enjoy this amazing scenery. Dana is truly gifted when it comes to terraforming, and I could just spend forever here. Moving on, I couldn't not include this amazing beach. All of the beaches on ℍ𝕖𝕝𝕪𝕠 are beautiful, but this one leaves me speechless. Like, I feel like Dana has been blessed by Tom Nook himself or something with design skills, because this is unlike anything I have ever seen before. It's so difficult to decorate the beaches in Animal Crossing, and an even bigger challenge when it's in wintertime, so for her to have put something like this together, it's just pure magic. I wanted to include her beaches to show you that it's okay to use coconut trees in the wintertime and to give you some inspiration for your own winter islands or even an elegant core island because of just how ornate and beautiful these beaches are. The next island on the list is by Chloe Plays YT over on Instagram as well as here on YouTube. We are going to be looking at Aurora, described as a snowy winter wonderland. This island is a snowy cottagecore dream with some city core elements, and I think that you will all love it just as much as I do. First area that we're looking at is this cute little white cul-de-sac. The simplicity of this design makes it so striking to walk through and so beautifully decorated as well. I love how cohesive it is and how, despite the build being all white, something about this color blocking is just so breathtaking. Every house is different with its design, but it all goes together so perfectly, and if we move down here, we can see some gorgeous wildflower meadows that help soften and warm up the space. The lighting that the dream address is set in also helps make this whole island just feel so cozy instead of frigid, which I feel is so unique to this theme. Moving on to our next spot, this is an entire elegant core boulevard complete with faux buildings that Chloe has built to act as shops in her main town center. As you can see here, we are looking at a cafe that is next to a library or a bookstore, which I think is just so cute. Everything here is seriously so beautiful. I love seeing how people work with perspective to make buildings and shops on their islands. These townhomes lining the street make it feel so lively and fill in the spaces beautifully. There isn't a single spot on Aurora that isn't just absolutely gorgeous. I think that my favorite shop out of all of these would have to be this plant shop. There are so many different ways to build winter islands, and I feel like people tend to shy away from spring-like decor on an icy landscape, but having a plant shop helps break up all the monotony of the snow, so I would highly recommend, not shying away from the greens and the pinks on your own winter island. Moving on, we have an island created by one of my amazing subscribers, ℍ𝕖𝕝𝕪𝕠 Crossing over on Instagram. While Bethany has two amazing winter islands, today we're going to be looking at Fog Point, which I could best describe as like an icy grunge dockside winter island with a heavy focus on fishing. Like, I guess a winter coastal island, which is a theme that I haven't come across before, which is so exciting to see, so let's go and take a look. There are so many places that I wanted to showcase, but what truly blew me away was this second tier boardwalk on Fog Point that Bethany has put together. This is actually where Teddy lives on the island, and for those of you who don't know, Teddy is my absolute favorite villager in the entire game, so I am so happy to see him having the coolest little house design. I love the idea of him being like a little mechanic or something, and I feel like that's kind of what his house portrays. Now, if we head on down, you can see that the use of the items here is just so smart. Everything is layered in a way that's so pleasing to the eye. The way that Bethany has layered these items and created this factory building is one of the coolest faux building designs I have ever seen on an island, and I am so inspired to do a winter trash core island of my own now. Walking through here just perfectly captures being on a rundown side of town on a gray and icy day, which makes it feel all the more desolate, and I just love the vibes so much. Next is this second boardwalk, kind of like a boulevard area where we have some homes that have been turned into some restaurants. We have a fish market, some bait and tackle shops, and just so much more, which could be so fun to include on your own island as little market builds that are kind of different from what you usually see in markets. This whole area is just so creative, and Bethany has such an amazing grasp on scale and how to take these larger items like the yachts and the trucks and the storefronts and just turn them into a cohesive build that tells a story. The environmental storytelling on Fog Point is seriously so good. Like, I could imagine this being the setting of a spooky winter thriller movie or like a drama film about people living in a small desolate town. It's just so good. Now, the next island on the list is a bit spookier, so do be warned. It was an island created back in 2021 by Anemo Crossing over on Instagram, and the island is named Purgatory. This wintry island is very white, very snowy, very elegant, but there's definitely something dark and nefarious going on here. Something about it feels very dreamlike, but bordering on being a nightmare, if that makes sense. The areas are so beautifully decorated, but random splotches of blood are dotted all around the island, hinting at a darker story happening here on Purgatory. Here we have another little land bridge to feature in our winter lineup, and this one is seriously so cool. Anemo has added so many stunning land bridges on this island with all types of sunken waterfalls, but this one is especially breathtaking. It has just the right amount of symmetry and is honestly like just such a piece of art. Like, it's so beautiful. Walking along this, you feel like you're in some sort of winter fantasy, and I just love this build so much. It would be so cool if you're looking for a build to help take up some space on your island, especially if you're running out of winter ideas. But this build is of course done in more of a whimsical ruin style with some horror elements thrown in, of course, but it could be done in more of a natural or even like a cityscape style depending on the items that you decide to use. Next up is another island that is named Galacia, but this one was created by Woodsy Crossing over on Instagram. If you don't follow Lorenzo already, please go and check out his amazing Instagram page. Galacia is a lovely little wintry town core island, but what's so amazing about this island is that not only is it Lorenzo's first time ever doing an island set in winter, but it was also his first time ever building a more structured city core island, which makes all of this all the more stunning because he did such a great job, and it truly just goes to show how going out of your comfort zone can be so rewarding. Now, the build that caught my eye the most on this island is actually up in this little plaza outlook area up here. This whole spot is so beautiful. I love this road. I'm actually using this code over on Bleakmore as well, so I love seeing it on another island, and I think that this spot is simply so gorgeous. I love how open the whole area is, showing that you don't always have to clutter up your builds to make them look impressive, and yes, I am calling myself out on this one here, but using this fountain as the centerpiece is so fun, and it just makes the area look so grand. But I also just love how Lorenzo didn't make everything super symmetrical in this spot. I feel like this is such a natural take on more of a city core theme, and it makes it so unique and fun to explore. Now, of course, the true star of the show here is this incredible castle back here that he built, which is so awe-inspiring. Like, look at how gorgeous this is. Just being able to hang out here and look at the castle, get some beautiful views. It is so gorgeous. I like how Lorenzo made this more of a lookout spot because it makes the castle feel so much bigger and more imposing, and I'm just always such a huge fan of forced perspective and playing with scale. Next, I wanted to take a quick moment to also showcase the way that Lorenzo went through and decorated his museum. Once again, integrating buildings into your island is no easy task, but I think that the museum fits beautifully into this little back road that he has on the island. It fits so seamlessly with this cute little neighborhood, but most beautiful of all is actually down here. It's this little statue garden that Lorenzo designed in front of the museum building. This area has all these blues and whites and the topiaries and the statues. It just looks so magical. I would love to spend some time here gardening or just strolling along the street with all of the falling snowflakes. This area is so gorgeous, and huge thank you to Lorenzo for letting me showcase Glacia. The next island on the list of our Little Winter Showcase was an island created by the amazing Pumpkinella acnh over on Instagram. ℍ𝕖𝕝𝕪𝕠 is a wintry wonderland done in a blue theme that is just absolutely breathtaking. This island glows with such a beautiful icy shade of blue that would be perfect inspiration for your own winter island, especially if you love the color blue. The build that I wanted to showcase the most on this island was actually what was built around resident services. So often it's difficult trying to decide how to decorate around the plaza, but this little centerpiece area is simply divine. Here we have so many variations of blues and a heavy use of the illuminated items, but it's done in a way that makes it all feel so wintry and just magical. I love all of the layering that was achieved because it makes the symmetry look more like visually interesting instead of just looking identical. The whole area is such a winter wonderland, and fun fact about me, but blue and white Christmas decorations are my absolute favorite when it comes to decorating for Christmas in my own home, so this is such a dream for me to walk through. I also love having Sky here to really showcase all the breathtaking shades of blue on ℍ𝕖𝕪𝕠, and big thank you to Pumpkinella for making this gorgeous winter island, so be sure to check her out over on Instagram and give ℍ𝕖𝕪𝕠 some love. The next island that we are going to look at is a dark Christmas themed island which is set at nighttime, and the vibes are absolutely immaculate. I love everything about this island. ℍ𝕗 is a city island created by Storybrooke acnh over on Instagram, and it is just one of the most elaborate and well thought out islands I have seen. Mel also creates some of the best acnh build challenges over on Instagram that really helps to bring the acnh community together, so do be sure to go and check her out. The area that I wanted to highlight today was this neighborhood that Mel has put together. Something feels so vintage and cozy about this area, and a majority of the villager homes on ℍ𝕗 are located in this little medieval-esque suburb spot, but I just love how organized yet naturally flowing all of the pathing and the placement of the homes are. There is so much to explore on ℍ𝕗, and I would highly recommend that you take the time to explore it, so have this be like a little taste tester for the real thing. The Christmas tree centerpiece right here is so beautiful, as well as taking these little side roads that we can go down. And over here, this spot, something about it just got to me. We have a gorgeous little Christmassy, cozy seating area. Something about it is just so beautiful and could be a great addition to any classic Christmassy town. Next, we have a very special island created by the wonderful Tay Crossings, a good friend of mine and an amazing Animal Crossing YouTuber. If you aren't yet subscribed to her channel, I highly recommend going and checking her out after this video. Tay has created the island of Gumdrop, a pastel gingerbread candy cane lane themed island full of everything sweet and cute for the Christmas season. This list honestly wouldn't be complete without a pastel winter island, and Gumdrop is just so cute. Tay has created one of, if not the coolest Christmas pastel circus I have ever seen. This is giving gyroid party, it's giving Barbie Nutcracker, it's giving Sugar Plum Fairies. I just love the way that Tay was able to take these items and layer them in a way that alludes to the carnival being almost like this big grand confectionery village. I love the use of all of the pink and purples, and I love these pink medieval walls that are interspersed with all of these beautiful gingerbread simple panels, and this little gingerbread train is seriously so cute. It's just such a fun way to build on a winter island, especially if you're someone who gets tired of the snow very easily. Making the island more pastel and colorful is a great way to help combat the wintry fatigue. Next, we are going to visit the island of Ginger Snap, designed by the lovely Sweet Magnolia Sarah over on Instagram. Ginger Snap is a traditional winter Christmas island full of beautiful buildings nestled along natural landscapes with traditional greens and pops of red that make this feel like such a vintage, cozy winter wonderland. I wanted to highlight two spots on Ginger Snap, the first being this little Christmassy cabin area. This island just has so many festive trees that it makes everything feel so in season for the holidays, and this area in particular is just such a cozy little spot. The choice of items is so smart and has such a striking look. I love how much height variation we have going on here. You can really see everything. I especially love the layering of the gift piles, the clotheslines, and those little pops of red coming from the foliage and a select few of the customization options. I just feel like Sarah has such an inspiring grasp on color theory and knowing just the right amount of color to add to her builds to make everything look so intentional. Here we have a classic little skating rink, but I feel like Sarah has truly taken the idea and made it her own. I love that little shoe locker in the back with the sock on top and all of these pops of red yet again, and just how perfectly she was able to capture that vintage Christmas feeling in a way that feels so nostalgic and just so cozy. I also adore her use of the bulldozer item with the strange moss piece to make it look like a snowplow. I've literally never seen that being done before, and I feel like it could be really cool in kind of like an environmental storytelling type of way that you can include on your own winter themed island, especially something more city core. Last but certainly not least is a ski resort island put together by my beautiful and amazing partner on Instagram, Arden Crossing. Arden has gone through and recently released the dream address for Snowberry, her cozy foresty ski resort island that has so many beautiful spots and pops of red. Her design is more focused on making the island feel full of frozen winter streams and staggering mountains, playing more into the natural side of a ski lodge town. We're going to look at one of the first builds that I ever saw for Snowberry that instantly took my breath away. Here we are at Snowberry's Frozen Lake and Mountain Outlook. This area is so beautiful, and I plan on using it as inspiration for some areas on my own winter island, Bleakmore. Arden was the first person I saw using the volcanoes in this snowy variation and staggering them as mountains, which I think is just so genius. I also feel like the frozen lake that she created is seriously so impressive. A lot of times I personally try to stay away from the water design codes and instead focus on using actual water in-game, but the way that Arden has made this lake feel almost like a true frozen lake in a national park like Montana or Colorado is so beautiful. It's just such an amazing build, and I would just love to bundle up here and spend some time outdoors studying the natural landscape. The lighting here is so beautiful, and I just love everything about it. I hope that you found this video to be a helpful and fun little Christmas present from me to you and are now full of inspiration to work on your own winter islands. Leave all of your thoughts down below and let me know which of these islands was your favorite to go see, and be sure to go and check out all of the creators that I featured in today's video. Once again, all of the socials are linked down below, and be sure to leave a like on the video as it really helps out the channel. Happy holidays to all who celebrate. I hope that 2023 has treated you all well, and next time I see you, we will be in the new year and back on Bleakmore. Remember to subscribe to the channel, as I would love to have you join our amazing community, and hopefully we can reach 2,000 subscribers by the new year, which would be the biggest Christmas present ever. And stay tuned for all of the big things that I have in store for the channel in 2024. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.